What's going on, guys? It is Boyle and Nick back with another edition of the NBA DFS advice. This is Tuesday, March 8th, live Q&A for FanDuel, DraftKings, and Yahoo. So I'm Boyle, obviously, and I'm here with, you might know him by Jayhawk, you might know him by Nick, either one. Nick, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, sir. How are you doing yourself?
I'm doing all right. Got home from work about, I don't know, 20 minutes ago and ran right to the computer. So you gotta love that. But
You love to see that.
Yeah, exactly. You love when work takes that long. But yeah, so before we start, obviously, just like, subscribe, join our Discord, obviously. And we also, you can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and I believe we even have a TikTok. I think Moose is starting to do dances on there at this point. So if you guys want to go check that out, I'm sure that's good content. So I guess we're going to start off tonight. I can run through the injuries real quick, and then we can hop in. I know we only have one if Dan tonight, but I can just kind of run through some of the important injuries. So obviously OKC, the Gidster's out. Dort, wait, no, not Dort. I'm sorry. The Gidster's out. Ty Jerome's out. Yeah. So basically OKC's a value again for Shy. For the Pelicans, that's our one if Dan tonight with Brandon Ingram. Going down here, Orlando, it looks like Suggs has been ruled out. Wendell Carter will play. Cleveland, Jared Allen's out along with Karis LeVert. Brooklyn, we have Drummond will play. However, LaMarcus Aldridge is out. For Golden State, Otto Porter, Gary Payton are both ruled out. And obviously for Phoenix, we still have that guard value with Devin Booker and Chris Paul both out. So I think our one if Dan tonight is the Brandon Ingram one. So Nick, you want to start off with that?
Yeah, for sure. So Ingram got put on the injury report this afternoon. Got listed as questionable. So I think there's a good shot he probably sits tonight. He, like as we said before, midday downgrades are never good. So I'm playing it as he would sit. So I think that instantly gives bumps to McCollum and one of Marshall or Temple, because one of those two should start and play, 25, 30 minutes and become decent value plays. And yeah, so right now I'm playing as he sits, but obviously if he's in, McCollum is still a good GPP play.
Oh, perfect. So how far up does McCollum jump? Would you go as far as putting him in a core, or where would you put him if Ingram's out?
I don't know about a core, but I think he'd become probably an even better GPP play. Just because he already had big gains with Ingram on the floor, so you gotta imagine that he takes even more shots without him on the floor. So, I think he'd become close to a core, maybe not a core, but a really, really good GPP spend up.
Okay, perfect. So looking in the chat here, Nigel, what's up? How you doing? We have L. Feinstein, Jayhawk better have a strong, bold take for making up the delay. We were talking before. They just kind of inferred it was you. I don't know how he made that assumption.
Yeah.
But looks
Speaking
like
I'm gonna transition me real quick to the computer just so I sound a little better. So
yeah, okay. Let's see if this is working here.
All right, we good?
Yeah, that was a pretty smooth transition. I was expecting it to be much
perfect.
worse. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, so we got a question here from Nigel. It looks like the model projected Looney ownership so high and Mobley so low. Do you feel these are going to be accurate?
I would probably say yes. Like Looney high ownership? I don't think he's going to be high, but I think the model's probably about right. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd probably agree with that.
So I see FanDuel. For some reason, I see Mobley on DK at 33%, but then on FanDuel 4%. So I get I think it's an $1,100 price difference there. But without Jared Allen, I think Mobley's kind of a good play on both sides.
I agree with that. I was talking to my brother earlier. I think Mobley is a good play. I think he's way better on DK. I think he's like 7K on DK. I think that's a great play over there. I personally think he's about price where he should be on FanDuel. He's about 8.1K on FanDuel. I think he's probably going to get around 40 tonight. I think that's probably about where he should be priced. So I think he's fine on FanDuel. I don't think he's a lock, but on DK he's got to be pretty close to a lock for me over there. 7K
Perfect.
with no Allen.
We have L. Feinstein saying SGA is he close to a core play?
He's not. I'm not really. I've been on SGA like on past slates. I think this is a tougher matchup for him. Holiday's an elite defender, and he's almost 11K on both sides, so it's not like you're getting him at like a reduced price point. I mean, you're gonna need a big game from SGA, and I think he's another good GBP play. But I mean, prioritizing Giannis, KD, Lamelo, Colum, all those guys. I'm prioritizing spend ups over him. But that I'll just put that in like, and that's who I'm prioritizing over him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, for an extra, I think it's 500 on DK and an extra 300 on FanDuel. I would much rather have KD in there than Shai against Milwaukee.
I agree, and I think his teammate Man is actually his price has come down. Trey Man should be a really good GPP play because we know Milwaukee gets torched from the perimeter. He's a great 3-point shooter, so I actually really like him on both sides. At 5.5, the pivot off SGA because I mean you got to think if they double SGA or they put heavy attention on him, who's gonna take the shots? It's got to be Man or Baisley doesn't really shoot, so it's got to be Man, I think. And I think Man's is a great bounce back spot for him. Really like him tonight.
I miss the days when he was, I think he was like 4,000 right before the All-Star break. He dropped like, I think it was like back-to-back 30-pointers. But yeah, I miss those days. But all right, so I don't see any more questions in the chat right now. So we're going to start it off. Favorite stud play besides Giannis? I think we already covered like Giannis, KD. If you want to go after Giannis and KD, do you have like someone you're eyeing up?
LaMelo. FanDuel, he's by far a lock. I think at 7.8. It's the highest over under on the slate. He's not like he's so much better than the 7,800 player. I mean, he's like a 9K player. I think he should be probably one of the most chalkiest players on the site on FanDuel. I really like him. A hint, I like LaMelo, but I mean, this is a great matchup, and he's just way too cheap. There comes to a point where players shouldn't be priced as low, and that's where you hit with LaMelo. I just think it's a great game to target, especially in low risk. Bridges, KD, Melo, Rozier, Kyrie, all those guys are just great targets in a great environment.
Yeah, I know normally we don't say stacking is too beneficial in NBA DFS, but this game's almost a 240 over under. Brooklyn's only supposed to win by 3. If you're going to stack any game, it's going to be that game.
100% agreed. I think it's by far that if you're going to stack, it's going to stack.
All right.
Let me go into a little bit more. Element is probably my favorite value play tonight. Assuming he starts. So he gets a matchup against Charlotte, which we all know. Charlotte against bigs, terrible. And assuming he starts, I love him. But if he doesn't start, you got Claxton at 3.8. I don't know what it is on DK, like 5.36. He'd become an elite value play. So I think you really got to monitor who they start there, because whoever starts there, I love on both sides.
Yeah, no, that was literally my next question. I saw Lucas. No, you're good. Lucas
I'm
was
predicting the future.
Yeah, no, at this point you kind of already have my routine down. But yeah, we had a question from Lucas in the chat, asked the same exact one, and I was like, oh, it's perfect. I can lead it right up into this. Nick just decides to take it and run with it, so I love it. But all right, so we had favorite value. We can head over to best low own play if you want.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
You want to do both sites under 10%?
Let's do it. Let's see.
You want to start? We'll start DK and then we'll move over to FanDuel.
DK under 10%. I'm gonna say Trey Man 5% on DK. 5.5. I wanted to say LaMelo. That's too obvious. So I'm gonna say Trey Man 5.5. I think he gets the job done here.
Okay. I'm gonna go RJ Hampton. He's gonna start again for I think it's Suggs. I think Hampton saw 32 minutes last game. He didn't do too much with it. He still hit value. He didn't do too much with it, though. He's going up against I don't want to call him a weak Phoenix backcourt, but it's definitely not the same as it would be if they had Chris Paul.
I agree. I like that. That call.
So head over to FanDuel now. See if you can give me one too.
FanDuel. Let's see here. I'm gonna say. Let's see. I'm gonna say Jordan Nwora, 4% on FanDuel. I think he's probably gonna get the start tonight, and power forward is terrible on FanDuel tonight. I really like him at 4K because Allen's out. I looked up at popcorn.com and I saw that he played the same amount of minutes of Allen when Allen was in. Now you got Allen out. You got to assume Noor just takes Allen's minutes pretty much and makes the most of those in a phenomenal matchup against OKC. So I love Nora. He's 32%, which I can't imagine he's 4% on FanDuel. I mean, if he is, I love him on FanDuel. Love that.
So I think first off we have Lucas asking Seth Curry question mark. So like, what are your thoughts on Seth?
He's fine. I mean, I was on him earlier today, but I think since Kyrie and KD are going to take most of the shots there, and we know that Curry is a better play when he gets more shots, I think I'm probably off that, especially since we got Hampton as value at the same position. So I'm probably off Curry. I'd rather just go to KD or Drummond or Kyrie in that game. I'd probably try to stay away from that on FanDuel and DK.
Okay, so I'm not sure where Nigel saw this. I was looking on Twitter real quick. I gave like a 10-second glance, so I probably missed it. But he's saying that Dean Wade's going to be starting for Cleveland. I think it was supposed to be Osman who was starting, but now it's going to be Dean Wade. So does that change anything for you with Cleveland?
I never really played Dean Wade ever. I think he's fine. I think I'd just look somewhere else for value, personally. I think I'd either go to his teammate Mobley or just look away from him. I wouldn't go there.
Because I see, it looks like last game we had, when Allen got hurt, it was in the first quarter. It was Osman that came in. Osman started the second half. He saw 32 minutes. Kevin Love also saw a pretty big uptick. He saw 30 minutes. Dean Wade only saw, I think he saw 17 minutes, but he did absolutely nothing in them. What is this? Personal foul.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Foul. Yeah, he's just a foul machine. So I think we're gonna stay away from him tonight, and then kind of just hope that Love and Osman and all those other Cleveland guys kind of go under notice that are off the bench.
I agree. And then I think probably what happens there too is I think Dean Wade will probably get the spot start like he did. He'll play percent, come in the second half, play the first cent, and then you're mainly going to see Love and Osman the majority of the other minutes. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. So we're going to look in the chat real quick. It looks like with Durant, Giannis, and LaMelo being priorities, who are the best plays under 5K not named Drummond?
I would probably say Nwora is definitely up there under 5K. As a great value play. Let me look who else. I think that Hampton's a great value play. He's really cheap on both sides. I like that. Let's see who else here. I think he's not under 5K. I think he's a great mid-tier play at 5.5 on both sides. And then obviously if Ingram's out, you're gonna want to look at Garrett Temple as value or Najee Marshall, whoever gets a start there. And then I think Jackson Hayes is in play as well at 4.4.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, my my top guy here, as I said earlier, was going to be RJ Hampton. I don't want to say he's under 5 because he's 5'1", but Landry Shaman's right along that line as well. I'm assuming FanDuel. So Landry Shaman's 5'1", probably doesn't classify for under 5, but
I think he's a good play too.
Yeah.
On DK, I think he's really cheap. I like him better over there though. I think he's
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they got away with giving him 3.7 on DK. Normally, DK is pretty good with the pricing. And
it's a walk on DK at 3.7. That's a no-brainer.
Well, it looks like they completely forgot the Suns in general because Cameron Payne's only 5'3" too.
Crazy.
Compared to 6'6" on FanDuel.
They have no guards. Booker and Paul are out, so someone's got to play for them, and they don't want to play Alfred Payton. Like, it only gives them like 3 total guards.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, on DK, I'm kind of just plugging in both those guys. Honestly, their prices are just way too cheap.
100%. But
All right, so I don't see anything else in the chat right now. We're gonna head over. Next question here: how are we building for the slate? Are you going stars and scrubs? I know we kind of talked about how we're prioritizing getting Giannis in there. However, are we doing like a Giannis and then mid tier, or are we doing like a Giannis, KD, Lamelo, and a bunch of cheap guys?
I think let me go side specific here because I think there's a big difference. On FanDuel, you can easily fit in Giannis, AD, Lamelo with all the value you have. On DK, I think you're probably gonna want to either go Giannis, KD, or pick one of Giannis and KD and go Lamelo. Because I don't think. I mean, you might be able to fit if you can fit all three. By all means, do it on DK. But I think it's gonna be harder to fit all three of those guys on DK. On DK, I would probably go like you said, play those Phoenix guys, play Giannis, and then one of Lamelo or KD, and whoever fits, ride with them. KD's gonna be safer, but he's also pricier, so it's gonna be up to you there. But on FanDuel, you might as well play all three. There's no reason not to.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. So, kind of the same question. Not really. Edge for the slate. Is there something you're doing that you kind of just think this is how I'm playing it? I think I'm gonna bink this.
Not necessarily an edge on the slate. I just think there's because a couple guys that Field's not gonna really keen on because they're gonna either see, oh, I like their teammate better, or just kind of just miss why I think they're good plays. Like I think everyone's gonna look at SGA and say, oh, SGA, he's obviously been the alpha there. But if you look back, I mean, Man's had his games too where he's had 40 fantasy points, 35 fantasy points. And I think he's just like might be my favorite GPP player on the slate, besides Lamelo or uh, or Noor. I just think I love picking on Milwaukee on the wing. I do it every slate that I can, and I think he's just a great play. So he was almost a core play for me. It's because guard's not that
Yeah.
good, and I really like him.
Wow. Okay. No, I love that.
Hey,
All
that's
right.
my bold take. My bold take for Nitro. I know you saw it. Give me Trey Man over 30 fantasy points tonight.
Over 30. Wow. Okay. I do like that.
Bold take.
You heard it right now. You're gonna get tweeted at tonight, but it's
Bring it
okay.
on, baby. Bring it
It's okay.
on.
So we have a couple questions piled up. So the first one I see here, we listed out Giannis, KD, and Lamelo as our three elite options, top options for tonight. Let's say Ingram gets ruled out. Is McCollum leaping over Ball? Is he leaping over Durant? Is there anyone he's kind of overtaking, or are we just staying?
And that's tough. I was looking at that too. Is if you fade KD, percent play McCollum. But I think Giannis is no question like play him on both sides. But I think McCollum would probably him and Lamelo would probably be similar on who I would go to. Like on DK, if I knew Ingram would be out before Bullock started and before that Lamelo started, I'd probably go him over Lamelo. Do I think you just play Lamelo? DK, I think you probably go McCollum over Lamelo in that case.
Okay.
I think on DK, if we are playing it as he's out, I would probably go McCollum. On FanDuel, just play Lamelo. They're different
Okay.
price points, so.
Easy enough. And then next question here. How many Suns would you play in the same lineup on FanDuel?
I think no more than 3, but I think even that's pushing it a little bit. I personally would probably go 2. So campaign and just campaign and Crowder campaign and Hammett, like we said. I think probably go campaign and one other would probably be most opti in my opinion. I mean, I'm fine with 3 if you want to go 3 because they're pretty depleted.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, I feel like you're gonna want to play, even though campaign's price is up to 6-6 on FanDuel. I feel like that's still a little bit too cheap for him.
You 100% got to play Payne all your lineups. But the
Yeah.
other guys are, if you want to play them, I think they're all fine plays.
Yeah, and yeah, I think you already said that in the plug when you said one listen to note. Campaign is our favorite lovers player in the slate, so we're sticking with that. A couple hours later, I 100% agree with that. So then we have in the chat El Feinstein. I will remember that. So I think he's referring to the man thing. So if he doesn't get 30 FanDuel points at the end of the night, you're probably gonna get a tweet now. So
Okay, well let's
we'll
think about
see.
it here. If Maine doesn't get there, it probably means Giannis probably didn't get there either because it probably blew out, right? So I'm playing the correlation game there. So if Giannis is crushing, someone else has got to be crushing. If it's not SGA, it's man. That's kind of how I'm playing it.
Yeah, and I agree. I think Holiday is going to cover SGA, and I feel like a lot of people are going to go back to him because of his recent games. But I feel like tonight's a good fade for that.
I think so too, and that's why I think like people won't look to man. And I think that's a great leverage. I guess that's my leverage of the slate. Makes sense.
No, perfect. So we have a couple minutes left here. I don't see anything else in the chat. I believe last Monday we started off a new, I don't want to call it segment, but it's just our top overall play of the night. You give one, I give one. It's kind of how it works. Do you want to do top overall or do you want to do top elite, top value? How do you want to do this?
Let's do low owned and top play. So, like, what's your favorite overall play on the
Low owned.
slate, and what's your
Okay,
favorite low
and
owned
then
play on the slate?
got it. Okay. Do you want to lead us off here?
I can start us off. Favorite overall play, and I'm not gonna say Giannis. I'm gonna say KD, and the other low owned play, and I've already mentioned man, so I'm not gonna say man. I will say Jordan Noir on FanDuel at 4K. Or Drummond.
Okay.
Noir or Drummond. I can't really make up my mind. Let's go Noir just because I think he'll be low round.
Okay, so you actually stole my elite. I was going with KD as well.
Okay.
I know we talked up Giannis, and I was gonna be like, oh, he'll say Giannis, and then I'll come in with KD, and we can. But no, we're saying KD there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Giannis is good. If you could fit in both of them, that's great, and then kind of play with it from there. Low owned. I was talking about Hampton for a while. I think I'm gonna go with someone else here and say Kevin Love. I feel like he's going to see a pretty big uptick in minutes. I believe in the second half of last game, he saw what is this 8? He saw 16 of the 24 minutes. So I feel like he's definitely going to see over 30 minutes tonight, and he's still pretty cheap. I feel like he kind of plugs into that Jared Allen role and sees probably about 35 fantasy points, a little higher than that.
I agree, and I think DK. I think he's a little bit better, 5'6" rather than 6'4". I think that's a great call there. I think he definitely takes a bump there, so I like that.
Oh, perfect. So I don't see any more comments in the chat here, so we're gonna get on up out of here. So any more questions you guys have before the slate starts? Obviously, we're gonna be in the Discord chat up until 7, so just shoot a message in there. We'll try to get your question answered as soon as possible. But for now, I'm T Boyle 24_DFS. Nick, his Twitter handle is @DFSJayhawk. We'll see you next week.
Peace. Have a good night, everyone.